Why, hello there, and welcome back to GSL English. My name is Gideon, and today I have prepared a challenge for you. How good are your listening skills? Well, today we are going to find out. Yes, I am going to test your listening skills. Now, of course, listening is an essential part of communication. It's not all about talking, is it? But listening in our own language can sometimes be hard enough, let alone listening in our second or third language. So we need to practice. We need to practice and challenge our listening skills. And that's exactly what we are going to do today. So we are going to have 3 tests to see how good your listening skills are. First will be easier. The second will be a tad harder, and then the third will be a lot harder. So they progressively get more difficult throughout the class. I get a little bit more nasty after each test. In all of the tests, I will be reading a piece of text out loud in a nice and natural way. For the first test, you will have questions on the screen with multiple choice answers as I read. So all you need to do is look at the questions, listen carefully, and choose the right answer. For the second test, again, you will have the questions on the screen as I read, but there will be no multiple choice answers. You have to choose the right answer yourself. And then thirdly, I'm going to make it really difficult. There are going to be no questions on the screen until after I have read the whole text. So you will really need to listen carefully. So we're going to warm up and then slowly get more difficult. So are you ready? Are you somewhere nice and quiet that you can listen very carefully? Yeah? Are you sure? You're ready to start? Let's get into it with test number 1. So I'm now going to read the text out loud. Here are the questions I want you to answer. All you need to do is choose the correct option out of each multiple choice question. Here we go. Sarah had been eagerly anticipating her trip to Paris for months. However, what was supposed to be a dream vacation turned into a nightmare. It all started when her flight was delayed due to bad weather conditions. As a result, she missed her connecting flight and had to spend hours at the airport trying to rebook her journey. Exhausted and frustrated, Sarah finally boarded a new flight, only to discover that her luggage had been lost in the chaos. Arriving in Paris, she realised that she had forgotten her travel documents at the airport, causing her further delays and stress. Despite these challenges, Sarah remained determined to salvage her trip and make the most of her time in the beautiful city of Paris. Now, if you need to, you can go back and listen to that again, but I'm not going to read it again now. I want to see how many answers you got right. So let's go through the questions and see what you got. So the first question was, where was Sarah's intended destination for her trip? So where was it that Sarah wanted to travel to? It's a city that I've only ever been to once. I would love to go back. It was, of course, Paris. The answer was B, Paris. Question 2. What caused the first delay in Sarah's travel plans? So what was the first delay? The key is in the word first there. What did you get? The answer was again B, bad weather conditions. Question 3. What additional problems did Sarah face upon arriving in Paris? So not just the bad weather conditions, what else did Sarah have to face when she arrived in Paris? That's right, it's one of the worst things to happen when we are traveling, and that was C. She lost her luggage. Happened to me once. It was terrible. And finally, question 4. How did Sarah respond to the challenges during her nightmare travel experience? So how did she respond? What did she do in the end? The answer was D. She remained determined to salvage her trip. So she remained determined to salvage her trip. And that word salvage means to basically make the most of it, make the best of it, and to still have a good time. So I respect Sarah. I would have given up much earlier. So how many did you get right? How many of those multiple choice answers did you get? We're now going to move on to test 2. So these are the questions I want you to answer, but now there will be no multiple choice options. So as I read, listen carefully for key words and information. Okay, here we go. Good morning, class. Welcome to our lecture on the history of ancient civilizations. Over the next few weeks, we will explore the rise and fall of some of the most fascinating societies in human history, from the majestic pyramids of Egypt to the powerful empire of Rome. We will delve into their political structures, cultural achievements, and daily life, shedding light on the factors that shaped their destinies. By studying the past, we can gain valuable understanding of the present and perhaps even a glimpse into the future. I encourage you all to actively participate in our discussions, ask questions, and engage with the material. Together, we will embark on a journey through time to uncover the secrets of ancient civilizations. Now, let's begin our exploration of the past. Okay, so that was the second text. A little bit more difficult there. A few more advanced words that we needed to pick up on. So how did you do? Again, if you need to listen again, please do. Just go back in the video and listen one more time. Don't worry about it. Just enjoy the exercise. Do what you need to do. But now let's look at the questions. So the first question, what is the subject of the lecture? So did you get that? What was the subject? What were we talking about in this lecture? Well, the answer was the history of ancient civilizations. That's something that I would love to study. I don't know if that's something that interests you, but it certainly does me. So that was the answer. The history of ancient civilizations. Question 2. What are some of the ancient civilizations mentioned by the professor? What are some civilizations that he talked about at the beginning? He said the majestic pyramids of Egypt to the powerful empire of Rome. So the answer was Egyptians and Romans, or anything of that sort. Of course, because you were coming up with the answers, if you picked up on more wording, that is absolutely brilliant. So question 2, Egyptians and Romans. Question 3. Why does the professor think it is important to study ancient civilizations? There's a couple of reasons here, but we're going to look at one. Why does the professor think it is important to study ancient civilizations? To understand the present. And he said maybe even a glimpse into the future. But the main answer was to understand the present. And question 4. What does the professor encourage the students to do during the lectures? So what does he want from his students? What does he encourage them to do throughout his lectures? The answer was a brilliant answer. He sounds like a fantastic professor, and that was to ask questions and engage. When we engage with something, we get involved, we interact with it. So that's what this brilliant professor asks for. Ask questions, engage. So there you go. A little bit more difficult that time. How many did you get right? So once you are ready, we are going to move on to the third and final listening test. So here we go. I'm only going to ask the questions after I have finished reading. So you really need to listen carefully. Make sure you listen for keywords and phrases, take notes, and get as much information as you can, because of course, you don't know what questions I'm going to ask. I know, because I prepared them. But you don't know, okay? So listen carefully. Here we go. Today, I want to share with you my experience of starting a new career. Transitioning into a different field or role can be both exciting and challenging. When I decided to embark on this new journey, I was filled with a mix of anticipation and nervousness. However, with determination and perseverance, I was able to overcome obstacles and adapt to the demands of my new career path. Along the way, I learned the importance of continuous learning, networking, and seeking mentorship. These factors played a significant role in my professional growth and success. Remember, starting a new career is a process that requires patience and resilience. Embrace the opportunities for growth and never stop believing in yourself. So, question number 1 for this text. Are you ready? What is the speaker discussing? It's the question I want you to answer. What is the speaker discussing and talking about? What did you get? Give you a moment to think about it. The answer was beginning or starting a new career. Okay, that was the answer. Beginning or starting a new career. Very scary thing to do. I don't know if you've ever done it, but it can be quite nerve-wracking. So well done to this speaker. Okay, question 2. How did the speaker feel when starting the new career? Okay, how did the speaker feel when starting the new career? I'm going to give you a little clue here. It was a mix of 2 emotions. A mix of 2 emotions. Give you a moment again. It was a mix of anticipation and nervousness. So anticipation is when we eagerly wait for something. And nervousness is that feeling of anxieties where you get butterflies in your tummy. You know, it's that kind of feeling. So a mix of anticipation and nervousness. Okay, question 3. This is a difficult one. What are some important factors mentioned by the speaker for success in a new career? What are some important factors that were mentioned that aided this speaker's success in her new career? Did you get anything? There were 3 we can pick up on. The answer was continuous learning, networking, and seeking mentorship. So I'll give you a point for each answer. If you got 1, brilliant. If you got them all, fantastic. Networking is when we engage with other people within our career, and mentorship is being guided by someone. So willing to accept help and advice. So continuous learning, networking, and seeking mentorship. Okay, and the final question for today, the final part of this test is, what qualities does the speaker emphasize as important for navigating a new career? I'll read that once more. What qualities does the speaker emphasize as important for navigating a new career? So a quality is like an attribute, something that we feel, something that we have. What did you get? 2 qualities. The answer was resilience and adaptability. If we are resilient, we work hard through challenges, we don't give up, and we keep on going. If we are adaptable or showing adaptability, we are willing to change when necessary. So, how did you do on that final test? It wasn't easy. That was quite difficult, just having the questions thrown upon you. But that is a superb way of testing your listening skills. So we started off a little bit easy, then we got harder, and then we got very hard. So what is your listening level? How good are your listening skills? Please let me know in the comments. How many did you get right? And don't worry if you missed a few of the answers. This is all about practicing and a little bit of fun. If you want, I will create more of these lessons, these listening tests to help you really practice. Because remember, communication is not just about talking or putting out. We also need to listen. A good communicator listens carefully and effectively. That's why we need to practice these skills. So I hope you enjoyed this test today. I thoroughly enjoyed preparing it, and I hope to see you all very soon. Have a good one, guys.